Step right up, folks! Your dream come true! Give a wedgie just 25 cents!
Wedgies?
Happy Wedgie Friday, community. I'm your lovely host, Octavius. We are back again here with another video on the Wedgie Clip channel. As we all know, on Fridays, I like to keep us entertained as we go into the weekend. I want to bring up a figure who is near and dear to my heart. I remember when I first met him. Some of you may have met him also as well. I remember how big he was, the menacing tone in his voice. Even I would be terrified of fighting him in a ring. Many of us in the Wedgie community have fell in love with wedgies for different reasons. Some of us, it came from media. For some of us, it came from seeing it in real life. For whatever reason, one thing was for certain, which was that we wanted to see that more. More wedgies on television, more wedgies on social media, more wedgie conversations being had, ultimately culminating into this wonderful place that we now call the Wedgie community. Now, at one point, the community was not as big as it is today. The internet was not as advanced in its technology as it is today in 2024. There was no social media, so the only places you can go to look up things were Yahoo, Google, or Bing. So this figure that I ominously speak about has been given many homages on DeviantArt. Many bullies wishing that they could be him. Many subs wishing that was them getting wedgied. It came during a time when content was limited. Everybody was watching, had one episode, and he did not disappoint. But many of our favorite wedgie content creators to shame with his one famous scene. But before I introduce our guest today, before we kick this video off, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, as well as leave a like so that I know that you like this kind of content, you want to see more of it. And make sure you're following our social media so that you can stay up to date with events and things happening within the community.
It's a Wedgiesaurus Rex!
Enter Wedgiesaurus Rex. Some of you, if you are old enough, you remember him when he first debuted on television. For my youngest who don't know who the hell I'm talking about, don't worry, I'll explain. Wedgiesaurus Rex, in my opinion, is the bully of all bullies on television. His enormous stature, primal nature, his unique abilities for giving wedgies that are just out of this world. While he was the main antagonist of the episode, he was still in our hearts, our wedgie hero. Wedgiesaurus was first introduced to us on season 5, episode 56 of Kids Next Door. As the main antagonist, Jerry Rassick, I hope I'm saying his name right, the secret weapon to destroy number 2 and number 4. When number 4 and Jerry was in first grade, 4 wanted to be a putz and jump on his seesaw swing, giving Jerry this massive super wedgie. I know you may be thinking, Jock, oh my god, you're so dramatic. Y'all, this dude had to literally get his wedgie surgically removed and tried every single tong and tweezer to get those tidy whities out his ass, and they still weren't coming out. That's how hard number 4 gave him a wedgie. Just want y'all to let that sink in for a second. Imagine yourself getting a wedgie so hard that it's hard to pick, and then times that by 100. Wedgie lover or not, I know that shit hurt. This event that left a very sour taste in Jerry's mouth. This is what led to him doing more research in bullyology, but by creating an island known as Bully Island, which may not be a surprise to you what it's about. And another non-shocker, guess who's the final boss of the Bully Island? You see, before the seesaw wedgie incident, there wasn't that much information about Jerry being a menace beforehand. So it's safe to say that he was probably just a regular, happy-go-lucky kid. Once wedgie revenge consumed him, all he could think about was payback. What better way to get revenge than with a payback wedgie? In comes Wedgiesaurus Rex, with an appearance of like an animal-like human, towering over his victims with a blue cap, a black jacket wrapped around his waist, shoes that used to be shoes but his feet is literally dangling out of them. Everything about his appearance outside of the jacket wrapped around his waist is considered bully. According to K&D fandom, his main purpose was for giving super wedgies. In regards to the audience, he was pretty much portrayed to be a menace. He was utilized in the destruction of number 4's underpants. According to K&D fandom, Wedgiesaurus Rex ran the schoolyard, and if Wedgiesaurus was a real person in real life, he is your bully's favorite bully. And he only uses one command, giving wedgies. Wedgiesaurus Rex was no ordinary bully. This man had wedgie god powers. His ability to throw you in the air and catch you with the same underwear is crazy. How he could turn your size small pair of briefs into a size 3XL, wrapping you inside of your own briefs. You could stretch out your underwear to the greatest extent and they still wouldn't rip. This man was truly a wedgie menace. He has done things that even our greatest doms have yet to do, giving us new variations from the yo-yo wedgie. The Reggie wedgie that looks like Spider-Man had a cameo in Kids Next Door. This man does not get tired, he literally never stopped. If there was a pause, most likely he was doing it to fix his grip. Now I must pose the question on, why is Wedgiesaurus so strong? Why did the producers make Wedgiesaurus out to be such a wedgie menace? They wedgie fetishes? Oh my god, they had to be wedgie fetishes. My first theory is, given that this is a kids show, wedgies have always been done in kids shows. This is not the first show to have a wedgie on it. Most of the wedgies on a lot of our shows growing up were pretty realistic. I mean, even in the hanging wedgies, we found out a way to do that too. And before y'all get y'all panties in a bunch and say that, oh my god, but the flagpole wedgie hasn't been done yet, look at this exhibit. Wedgiesaurus' case, he was credited to be like the final boss for the K&D heroes. If you remember how hard number 4 wedgied him in the beginning, I know that whatever revenge that was carried out had to be 10 times better than that. My theory was that the creators thought that, hey, what is like the worst wedgies that someone can ever be given? Given that kids have great big imaginations that anything is possible, this is a cartoon. Creators can take it to any height that they choose. So they chose Wedgiesaurus height. It shouldn't be too far-fetched that if these scenes were to happen in real life, the underwear probably would rip. Literally as soon as you're dangling off the floor. Underwear would have not stretched that far. It also can play back into the iconicism of the character. Notice as a cartoon, I'm sure one of us has definitely attempted to try to do one of Wedgiesaurus' type of wedgies. It's so strong that even his creators wouldn't be able to stop him. This is confirmed during that final scene.
Oh shit, he's got a permanent wedgie. What more can he do?
Creation being stronger than its maker, but not just in wedgies and pure strength. And the fact that he wasn't just a bully. Before I give y'all my take on Wedgiesaurus Rex, do have to give Jerry a little bit of grace. If somebody did me how he was did in first grade, I'm not gonna lie to you. I could be a vegan and caring about the environment. We are beefing forever.
You're gonna have beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever.
I understand why Jerry took the situation to hell and back. All that man wanted to do was pay with his building blocks, bro, and what did he get?
Be the worst Wedgie!
So again, it shouldn't come as a surprise why he used Wedgiesaurus as a final boss to this episode. Now, regardless of Wedgiesaurus, let's just take a step back for a second. I know some of you are like, oh my god, Jock, why does this matter that he was more than just a bully? The way that Wedgiesaurus is created and portrayed onto the episode, he is not given that respect to be humanized. Nobody really cares about what Wedgiesaurus really is. That's the fact that he can give good wedgies, and you know how this is true? Remember how I told y'all how his appearance looked on the show? I literally had a pair of shoes with his feet out of them, bro. Anyone really notice that small detail or even care to notice that? The significance of humanizing Wedgiesaurus Rex is also that it humanizes us all. How many of us felt in the community that we only serve a purpose just to give wedgies and get wedgies and nothing more? When people talk to us, they're really talking to the persona of us and not really who we are. To most people, the idea of us means so much more than who we actually are. And just let that sink in for a second. This was Wedgiesaurus. Lives in the jungle, he's caged away from society, and the only time the owner wants something to do with him is if he's doing his job and giving somebody a wedgie. That is why it matters so much when number 2 did his homework. Because this wasn't just a bully or a menace, but this was also a human. Why do you think the story changed so quick as soon as he saw the homework? It really wasn't the homework that made Wedgiesaurus give grace. It was the act of kindness. Finally let go of number 4's underwear, he revolted against Jerry, let the heroes leave, and then he stood on business and took back that island. Do you know what's more iconic than being the bad guy of the show? Being the bad guy to save the day.
Oh my god!
That, in my opinion, is what makes Wedgiesaurus the most badass character I've ever seen that gives wedgies. The change in his purpose, humility that he had towards the end of the show, and most importantly, a bully with feelings. That's why when I was younger, if I wanted to be like anyone, I wanted to be like him because he wasn't just a bad guy, he was human. What makes a great Dom or cartoon character Dom should not be defined by just their wedgie abilities, but their capacity for humility. How we treat others as we navigate this crazy thing we call life. Through their good and bad days, can they still be better than who they were yesterday? What makes Wedgiesaurus Rex so powerful? That he wasn't like your everyday bully on television. The bully was a bad guy that saved the day. A bully who was not afraid to show emotions in front of his other bully friends. He is truly an icon and should be revered as one. If you can learn any lesson from this entire conversation that we just had, purpose is not defined by who you were told to be, but who you choose to be. You know that all it takes is one decision. That is it for our Wedgiesaurus video essay. Thank you all so much for coming to watch this video with me. Y'all, this video took me 5 days to record. It's literally 12 o'clock right now, so I hope y'all enjoyed this. I inspired more thoughts in regards to Wedgiesaurus and honestly just wedgies and pop culture as a whole. If there's another wedgie bully that you would like to see me break down, please drop it down in the comments. Do you think that Wedgiesaurus is iconic? Please let me know in the comment section. Who would you say is the strongest wedgie bully in the history of television? Drop that down in the comment section. That is it, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video with me again. Y'all stay wedgied. I'll see you all next week in our next videos. Take care.